What's up, guys? It's PKS Young Lattery here, and today we're doing the Week 5, I think. Week 5 highlights for Bear vs. Bull Pokemon Draft League. Um, First one is a banger. It's my boy Richard versus Tails or Jaden. So we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into the team preview here. This lineup, from like Jaden's point of view, Zeraora looks really strong. Um, Outside of potential Intimidate and obviously the ground type Landorus. So it can't just freely spam Volt Switch or Plasma Fist. However, it's National Dex, so HP Ice is an option into this. Um, but yeah, that'd be like the first thing I'd be looking at is like a Zeraora enjoyer myself, is like whittling down this and then trying to win with this. Terapagos, very versatile Pokemon. It ends up being like something extremely fire. I won't spoil it, but like typically typically you'd want to preserve like your specially fat stuff like Tyranitar or Gudra. Maybe put this thing on a timer of some kind. Sand actually helps a lot because it breaks the ability. I know it's not multi-scale, but I just call it that because it's like similar. Mega Venusaur, I mean, you guys already know it's one of my favorite megas. It's becoming one of my favorite megas just because of how fat it is and how hard it hits at the same time. Garchomp, another Pokemon that can be super versatile. Could be hazard set, could be set up. Talon, most likely most likely the removal option here. It would be between this defogging and this spinning. And then Mimikyu is the Z. I think it's the Z Captain. So you guys know what that does. Just takes a hit, gets a hard hit off, can set up. And then from Richard's point of view, Richard brought like a more of like a bulky team. There's not much to be said for like offensive impact. It's mostly just the Coco and the Lando. Like yes, you can run DD, T-Tar, or like banded Arcanine. But I don't know if Richard's run DD at all this season yet. I'm not sure. It just kind of looks like a bulky offense, like a very bulky offense into like a more balanced offense. So let's see what happens here. Oh, my computer is so slow. I apologize. I hit play, I swear. Alright, so yeah, here we go. Leads Talon into the Tyranitar, clicks U-turn immediately and goes into Venusaur, which makes sense. As Richard just opts to set up Stealth Rock. Yeah, this specific Gudra set actually walls this Venusaur. Because I think it's just Giga EP Sludge Bomb Synth. So if you're Sap Sipper on a balloon, you can't, like, you have to break the balloon before the Venusaur can do like literally anything. Talonflame comes out just to sponge a hit and like hope to break the balloon, but mostly just get U-turn momentum, I think is the intention here. Yeah. Into Chomp. He says, I don't care about your Dazzling Gleam. I'm just gonna go into Chomp. He goes right for the EQ. And okay, so it's Wish Pass Mola. This Tyranitar, yeah, I was gonna say it almost definitely has ice coverage, but Jaden was ready for that with the Yachi Berry. Gets T-Tar back to full on the Wish, gets his chip, and lets the T-Tar go down. That chip is actually important for Terapagos later, because that's one of the things that stops the special attacks. I figured we see a Drain Punch teched on, just in case he wants to, you know, try and pop a Disguise with T-Tar. Goes into Talon on the Arcanine as Arcanine teleports out into the fish. And yeah, gets rid of the hazards. Wishes again, probably trying to get that T-Tar back up. Yeah, see, this is rough. I remember seeing this matchup live, and like Richard was pretty much in complete control this entire game. Like he literally, Jaden doesn't have a way to like get offense with this Venusaur, like I said, because the Goodra is just walling it, and it's not like, yeah, and it's not like Richard's just gonna let him pop the balloon for nothing. And then, right, see, this is the other thing I was talking about. You get the Intimidate with the Arcanine, so this thing isn't like an immediate threat. And then you pair that with Lando, it's like, damn, like how do I hit this guy? Like it'd be super frustrating. Get that thick fat coming into play though. Yeah, man, Jaden is just basically getting his ass kicked here. Yeah, Nature's Madness. Brave Bird. Yeah, dude. The mixed Coco. So this is where the match starts to turn around a little bit. And I was telling you guys this is like an interesting set. So he starts with Rock Polish to be faster than Lando and Coco. And then it's Double Dance with Calm Mind. Gets all the way back up to full. If this Mola had Toxic on it, I feel like this never would have happened. But you'll see that, like, because he wasn't ready for this set, like Richard wasn't ready for this set specifically, it's able to just reverse sweep. And like even at this point, like T-Tar, yeah. Like T-Tar's at full, yeah, but it just took over half even with a resist berry, and it doesn't have a way to just kill this thing. It's also faster than Lando and Coco, like I said now. So that's pretty much going to be the game. Yeah, man. Oh, he has Mirror Coat, though. He has Mirror Coat. I forgot about that. Damn, should he have done that sooner? I feel like, hold on, if he had Mirror Coat... If he had Mirror Coat, I feel like he should have done that instead of sacking the T-Tar. But I guess it didn't matter, because, like, T-Tar was going to lose to the other two in the back anyways. Because this has Drain Punch, and I'm assuming this has CC. So I guess it's whatever. It just would have been another sack for him to have. Okay, E physical to break the disguise. And then let's snuggle forever probably, yeah. Oh, that crit might have mattered. I don't actually know the calc on that. But I feel like Lando is like naturally bulky enough to not just die outright to that. But that crit might have mattered. Acid Armor Goodra. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be enough at this point. So I'm pretty sure Mimikyu wins now. Yeah. Yeah. Zeraora comes in and cleans the 24 Coco. With T-Bolt. Okay, cool. Yeah, crazy match. So this was well played on both sides. Like Richard played really well. Obviously came down to like last mons, so it was well played in general, but big shout outs to Jaden for not losing his composure and playing to his outs all the way through. Just a lesson for like never give up, you know? Like he was down the entire game and he was able to bring it back. So yeah, good game to those guys. That was the Wolf division. Now we're gonna head over to Bull division. We're gonna do Zach versus Kevin. So some very like unorthodox looking teams right out the gate at preview. Hold on a second, I'll just mute this so my eardrums don't explode. So you get Smeargle, which normally when you see this you think Hazard Stack, Spore, whatever, which makes sense because if you want to run like a Banded Vish you could do that with like a web up or even a Scarfish, because how Fish's Rend works. If it hits first, it does like double damage, which is the reason why this thing was sent to Ubers back in Gen 8. Another Uber, Ogerpon Hearthflame. He's just got like two giant like swingers like right here, paired with Lucario, Gardevoir, and then these two. This team looks a little chaotic. Like there's no clear, but it's draft. You know what I mean? Like you can run stuff like this in draft, and have it make sense. Like have it have like a purpose. It's just like you would, if you saw this on the ladder, you'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then Zach, a little bit more conventional looking, but still just kind of like weird. Like you see Coco, you see this, like the boulder, the Gara, the ledge, and the mouse hold, and you think like, okay, maybe it's like screens offense, but the Dragalge, more of a defensive Pokemon with flip turn. But I guess it'd be a safe way to get your hitters in. So both teams look pretty awkward. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to gauge. Like, I mean, I guess from Kevin's point of view, you've got Pimamuku, which kind of stops the ledge and the boulder. It doesn't stop the Gyarados because of Mold Breaker, so it doesn't really care about Unaware. It could also have Power Whip for coverage, but I doubt it. But also, Coco looks like completely unguardable from Kevin's point of view. Like, there's no ground type. There's not even a resist. Like, Thunderbolt just goes crazy. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is a resist. There's Ogerpon, but that's not like a switch in. You know what I mean? Like Ogerpon's like an offensive Pokemon. So Coco looks like completely free to just spam electric attacks. So I'd say most significant Pokemon from both sides are probably like Pimamuku is an obstacle for Zach to overcome. But also Coco just goes crazy, so I don't know. I don't really know what to make of this. I wouldn't say one player has like a distinct advantage over the other. Taunt, Ceruledge. I didn't even know this thing learned Taunt. That's pretty funny actually. Taunt SD, Poltergeist on a Rocky Helmet. Okay, so he Toxics the ledge. It's probably just like recover, stall. Yeah. Okay, so this ledge is like screwed. This ledge has to switch. And now this is what I'm talking about. What does Kevin do now? You know, like Coco comes in and now what? Yeah, and I didn't even mention that. The fact that it Volt Switch is like, it's just free momentum. Okay, he gets a little bit of chip on the boulder, and then he sacks the Gardevoir, which I disagree with. Just go Pimamuku after. If you're going to hit it, go Pimamuku after. Because, yeah, this thing can't do anything to Pimamuku. You just kind of sack the Gardevoir for no reason. But then, yeah, back into Coco to abuse Volt Switch. Like these switch-ins, like the Gardevoirs, the Lucarios, these aren't switch-ins. These are like frail offensive Pokemon. He nasty plots on the Gyarados. And then the Gyarados obviously outspeeds after the DD. So now he's going to deal with this thing. Goes into Pimamuku to, yeah, see the Mold Breaker going through the Unaware. Yeah, this looks like a fucking, unfortunately. This does end up being what I think it is, though. I thought it would be Hazards. It's not. It's Shell Smash with like Pop Bomb and I think Power Trip, which is funny. I think I remember seeing this like, oh, okay, like maybe Kevin can actually. After I saw this turn, I was like, oh damn, maybe Smeargle's gonna reverse sweep, but yeah, it doesn't quite end up. This is Scarf Coco. It must be, right? I think that has to be Scarf Coco. But if that wasn't Scarf Coco, I think maybe Kevin could have won that with that Smeargle, which is hilarious. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I know that Dracovic is going to kill this and then get revenge killed by Coco, and the game's going to be over. That's pretty much what I said would happen. Yeah. Yeah, you can't just let this thing do whatever it wants. But yeah, I mean, seeing the Smeargle was cool. I think the Smeargle actually, like I said, would have won if this wasn't Choice Scarf Coco. Or maybe not, though, because there's no way it kills Dragalge from full, right? Surely not. I don't fucking know. I don't know calcs for Shell Smash Smeargle. Alright, so now we have Nathaniel versus Samuel. I didn't actually watch this game, like at all. I might have watched it live, but I don't remember. I just picked it because these are two guys that I feel like I haven't like shown too much on the channel, and I just am trying to give people like an equal distribution of matches if I can, as long as they're like, you know, presentable games. But yeah, I'm not sure why two of his Pokemon aren't showing up here. Probably because my computer sucks. But he's got the Screamtail, the Charizard, Ogerpon Wellspring, Goodra H, Gliscor, and Regieleki. And that's Nathaniel's team going into Salamence, Ursaluna Blood Moon, Mudsdale, Goldengo, Mandibuzz, and Superior. So I think... Yeah, I think... Oh, computer's tweaking out. Computer's tweaking out. I'm just gonna talk about the preview for a little bit. I was going to anyway, but now I like have to because my computer's spazzing out. But yeah, I think that actually I don't know which Charizard this is. I don't know if it's Charizard X or Charizard Y, or if it's just base Charizard. I actually don't know. If it's Charizard Y, there's not much in the way of switch-ins for Samuel. Ogerpon Wellspring is another major threat. I mean, you've got Intimidate. It could be bulky Intimidate Ments with like Hurricane or something. But even then, this thing does learn like Play Rough. So I'm just trying to identify like the potential offensive pieces first. Regieleki is not the best here, going into 2 ground types and a resist. I don't see this thing doing much of anything unless it's like some kind of weird screens thing. Like I could see it setting screens and spinning, but in terms of offense, I don't see it doing much. Honestly, kind of same with Gliscor, just because of Mudsdale. Yeah, and then from Samuel's perspective, Superior. I mean, if it's Sapsip or Goodra, Superior is not doing much at all. Goldengo is good at breaking down like these fatter cores. Like it could be like a nasty plot set. So it could be potentially good into like these 3, like the Fairy, the Steel, and then the Gliscor. If it's especially if it's on like a balloon, because sometimes Gliscors are walled by Balloon Goldengo. Like if they don't have knockoff or if the balloon is not popped, they sometimes just have no way to hit it. So that's something. Ursaluna Blood Moon. That's tough to switch into in general. I mean, Goodra, yeah, it resists the stab move, the cheating move. I forget what it's called, but then it gets hit super effectively by its other stab in forms of like Earth Power. So yeah, I don't know. It looks like I would probably give the edge here to Samuel. I don't remember the outcome. But I think if I had to pick like which team looked better into the other one, I think I'd pick Samuel's. So we'll see. Not to say that Nathaniel can't win. Like it's definitely like not that bad of a matchup, but because like I said, this thing sucks into Nathaniel's team, and it is Sapsip or Goodra. It goes into Goldengo. Whoa. How did Noct do 86? Memento Goldengo? What the fuck am I seeing? Okay, that was just a crazy couple of turns. The reason knocked it so much was because it was +1 because of Sap Sipper. That's why. Um, I didn't even know Golden Go learned Memento, but it makes sense, I guess, if you want to cripple something offensively and then just use it for fodder. But it only makes sense if this is like Calm Mind. It is Calm Mind, okay. But that's still that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Okay, there's the Blood Moon. Kills the Gliscor. And he keeps it in on the Cudgel, knowing he'd live one. If this has a Vacuum Wave, then I co-sign that play. But it does. Okay, it doesn't have Vacuum Wave. So he just probably is what, gonna U-turn out here? Toxic. Okay. I feel like U-turn would have been optimal because it would have killed this and then got momentum on this. But okay, he clicks Toxic. Eats the Ice Beam to what? To Whirlwind out into the one thing you probably don't want to see. Damn, Ice Beam does a good chunk to Mudsdale, but Mudsdale does a better chunk back. Oh, it's Weakness Policy Gudra. These guys are running some really like off the wall sets. He goes into, is it Scarf Moxie Ments? Okay, it's Moxie. Is it Scarf though? Even if it's Scarf, it's probably slower than Regieleki. It's not Scarf. He's switching up moves. Okay, he sets screen to reflect. Goes Mandibus to sack it. Damn, Screamtail is just fucking killing everything. This is another thing that I meant to point out at preview that I forgot to point out, but Sam's team is so weak to ice. Like, look at Ice Week, Ice Week, Ice Week, Ice Week, Ice Week. 5 out of 6 members are Ice Week, and the one guy that isn't, you clicked Memento with. So that, like, really made it easy for Nathaniel to just kind of spam Ice Beam at that point. I still don't know what kind of Charizard this was because it never came out of the Pokeball, but yeah. There you have it. That's the highlights for Week 5 Bear vs. Bull Pokemon Draft League. Have a good one.